Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Hey guys, welcome to Spin It, Bin It. I'm Lady T, and I've got DJ Marks. And I've got
hey,
DJ
what's up?
Hey.
So, Spin It or Bin It, this is a show where we get to listen to songs that we've never ever listened to before, and then give feedback and critique it. Now, artists are always asking us, can you give feedback? Can you give critique on the song? And we're more than happy to. So, as long as you can take the constructive feedback, we're all good to go. So, we've got some songs that we're going to be listening to today for you, and we're going to give it our very, very constructive and honest feedback. Right, guys, are you ready?
Always ready, man. Let's do it.
What did you think of last week? Last week was pretty, like, that was pretty,
I thought it was pretty
decent,
cool.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Good way to kick off. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so, right, the first song up that we're going to listen to is by an artist called Caleb. He is a rapper, producer, and this song is very R&B and hip-hop style. And the track is called Love Lifted Me. So, DJ Mello, spin it.
All right, let's check this out, people. Initial thoughts, you know what? It's got a vibe.
It kind of reminds me of the kind of like two-pack kind of intros.
Yeah, that kind of West Side kind of vibe.
Why they need an explanation? Sitting and worried about some changes. This love is get.
All right, first impressions, guys. Straight off the bat, what's our first vibe? What we getting?
DJ Max, you start off.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, that intro just reminded me of like them old school kind of like two-pack vibes. And even the short bit of the vocals, it kind of reminded me of, I can't remember the guy's name, from a Tribe Called Quest. He's got that kind of tone in his voice as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So far, seems like it's going to be a banger. So I'm waiting to see the rest of it.
Okay.
Lady C?
So for me, it was good. Now, I have a thing about intros. Like, I hate intros to be too long. Yeah. And that intro was too long for me. Like, when the first part, I don't know, I guess the first 8 or whatever you call it, like, he could have dropped it. He could drop his his first line of his verse. But then it carried on for a bit longer. And I'm like, nah, that's too long. It's too long. But from the offset, it's actually pretty good. I kind of like that vibe. I felt like if the beat drops, it's gonna be quite one of those like bangers. Like you're gonna feel it. So yeah, I want to hear the rest of it and see how it drops out. But just the beginning part for me is just always too long. So
I hear you. I think from a radio perspective, yes. From a DJ perspective, I think the intro is pretty much okay, because if you're in the mix kind of thing, you can mess about with it and do some stuff. Yeah. Should we go back in again, guys?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's listen to it, yeah.
Let's go. Sounds of Caleb featuring Eric Goodman. Roddy.
There. That's where it should have started.
Lamar. Love Lifted Me. Check this out, people.
Why they need an explanation? Sitting and worried about some changes. This love is contagious, like a sick man's contagion. Sound like Marvin said, they say I never should have made it. But look at all the people that I came with, it's crazy. Came a long way, don't need to mention the struggle. I got paid, yeah, that hurt, motivating the hustle. Wrote the 3 loud and proud, like my name could be Russell. Rode the wave when I drowned, I had to clean up my troubles. Like, I wanna tell the world that I'm young and saved. Mean a whole lot more to being young and paid. We live and we die, but we are not the same. Cause my heart was built for love, but you not Eddie Kane. Whoa, I'm just explaining the facts. Only live by 2 rules. Don't you love how we act?
What are we saying, people? What we saying?
Yo, that tune for me, yeah, right. If it carries on like that for the whole thing, that is what I call a straight fire tune. Listen, I'm coming from the hip-hop generation, man, with all them kind of back in the day Noriegas and Common and, you know, Nas, all them guys there, yeah. And that's the kind of vibe I'm kind of feeling. And I like that. You know what? If this tune is just banging for the whole thing, I think that's going straight to my playlist. So, yeah, I'm liking that.
Okay. So, from DJ Marks, it's
a spin.
It's a spin.
Lady T, what we saying? What we saying?
Okay, so again, for me, like, I don't know what it is about me, but I like songs just to get straight into it.
Okay.
Because sometimes like it takes too long. The build up can be when you build a song up too much and then you then drop. It's just like, oh wow, that was like
Disappointing.
disappointing. Yeah, and I hate that. So I just like songs just to get straight to it and stuff like that, because you keep the mind wondering, oh, where's it gonna go next, and then boom. So for me, yes, that I would spin. It is a dope track. I like the vibe of that. It's very hip hop. It's almost taking you back to some old school hip hop era.
Yeah.
Type of tune. Yeah, I like the essence of that. That was nice. Very, very nice. I'd spin that.
Okay, well that kind of gets a unanimous.
Spin that.
So that's a definite spin, guys. Yeah, we got a spin on that one. Yeah,
most definitely.
All right. So who was that again, Lady T?
Okay, so next up we have Izzy Thomas. Again, not heard the song. This track is called Father.
Mm-hmm. You guys ready?
Yeah.
This song is dedicated to all the fathers out there. If you still have your father, love and cherish him. I lost my father back in July of 2016. It's your girl, Sister Izzy. Father, why'd you have to go?
Initial thoughts, family.
You can go first.
Oh, you dare? You mean?
Yeah, you can go first.
All right. Okay. Father's Day is coming on. So you know, I can get the energy from it. I still need to hear a little bit more. I wasn't fully sold on that as yet. I think the production could be a little bit better, even straight off the bat. But again, I think we need to hear a little bit more to be able to make a full. I've got to wait for the drop. What do you say, Max?
I think, yeah. You know, okay. In general, I have a problem with tracks where they kind of do that kind of little testimony thing at the beginning.
Yeah, we had one of those last week.
Yeah, we had one last week. I mean, last week's one was long. This one isn't as long. But the way I will say is this, that if it's a single you're dropping, I prefer them not to be in it. If it's like part of a project where I can listen from one track to another and then like you're telling me your story through the project, I don't mind it. But as a single, yeah, I kind of have issues with those kind of things. I'd rather just like, you know, just give me the info, let me read it out. So, but yeah, I mean, the track, I feel from the little bit I've heard that it still needs some work. So I'll be interested to hear some more before I can kind of give it like a full kind of
work on like a technical level.
Yeah, on a technical level, I think like they need to kind of. It sounds like they need to go back to the studio. But like I said, I want to hear some more and see what it's saying.
Okay, so it's at the moment we've got a bit of a pin, Lady T.
I kind of agree with you guys both. Technically, it's not great or strong. Like even when I hear the vocals, the harmonies, it doesn't sound put together. It doesn't sound mixed. It doesn't sound in harmony. You can just it just sounds a little bit out of tune. I don't know, but it didn't grab me in the first instant like as such. And also the beginning part when she's talking about the father kind of thing, I just think the quickest thing she could have said, this is dedicated to all the fathers. They're done. And then gotten into the song. But
it's
yeah,
their personal testimony though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I think you can do that in the write-up. So if you put that in the write-up in the press release, you can put that in there. That's fine. And then it's up to the presenter to actually then say, like, you know, this song was written because of her father that passed away, and it's dedicated to all fathers. Standard. You could do it
because a lot of people
like
could
that.
relate to that, can't they? A lot of people relate to that. So, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's go.
This song is dedicated to all
Izzy Thomas, Sister Izzy Thomas, track entitled Father.
your father. Love and cherish him. I lost my father back in July of 2016. It's your girl, Sister Izzy. Father,
Let's go, Sister Izzy.
Father, Father, why did you have to go so soon? We didn't even get to feed your food on a spoon. The doctor said you could only be on a liquid diet.
I'm done.
Hurt us all so
Yes, stop.
Man said, I'm done. Oh my God.
I'm glad you did it first because I was just like, when is he gonna stop this, please?
Yeah, you know what? I'll even go first with my comments because I stopped it. All right, you know what? Straight up, I'm just gonna say, you know, I've got love for all artists. I'm always gonna encourage artists to kind of put good stuff out there, but I'm gonna just say straight up, I'm gonna bin that one. Reason for it is, I think, in general, I was trying to think of what I could suggest in terms of improvement, but I'm thinking for this particular track, I wouldn't want to suggest any improvements. I would want to suggest just going back to the drawing board. I think the production kind of needs to be done again, tightened up. I think the vocals need to be tightened up as well. Yeah, I just think the whole project just didn't work. So it might sound harsh, but yeah, I'm gonna bin that one and just say, you know what? Don't even try to fix it up. Just go straight back to the drawing board. Maybe even get a different producer because I wasn't feeling that one at all.
I have to agree. Go on, Lady T.
So for me, I'm hearing two things here. I feel like this was either produced by a very novice producer, or it was one of those beats that was bought and then she sang over it. Like, do you get what I mean? Because it just didn't fit quite well.
Yeah.
And I think the lyrics, I get the sentiment of the song, but it didn't sound, the way she delivered it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Like, that could have done, if you'd have done that in a spoken word form, I think that would have worked better. But I think trying to, I don't know if it was rap or speak or whatever it was, it didn't quite translate into why I guess the vision was trying to be for the song. So for me, I don't think it worked quite well at all. It definitely needs to be redone again. But I don't think she's a recorder. Her voice is not for records. It's not for recording, in my personal opinion. Because you know that you get some artists where, like, you can sing, but when it comes to a recorded song, you're not as great. But you can sing, maybe in a live setting. Because I know that there are some singers that I've heard even now that are doing their thing that are very much well suited to live singing than they are to recorded singing, in my opinion. So I feel like that's that for her. But I think that song needs to be reworked again somehow. If not to, in fact, not even to that beat. She could do it to another type of beat, a more not so hip hop beat, something more mellow, and then done in a spoken word form. I think, in my opinion, that's where I feel like that song could head better.
I definitely believe that it needs to be updated a little bit. I think it definitely needs another beat. I totally fully agree with what you're saying with regards to the vocals. I don't think they've been produced very well at all, and therefore it hasn't translated onto the track. So it's actually just the production, the whole production from top to bottom really needs a lot of work. And I must agree with DJ Marks, man. It's like back to the drawing board with that one. Lyrically, fair enough, it's great, not a problem. But I just think the delivery and the actual production need a really decent producer. If you're gonna send that music out, it really needs to step up and really be to another level. And you know what? Sometimes it's about, you know what, listening to other music along, you know, that's on a par with kind of what you're kind of doing or where you can get to. And if you know, you need to aspire to that. And if you're not getting that kind of sound or that level of sound, and you can't stand up against something else that's in that same arena, then really just keep working on it until you get that sound. You know what I mean? Definitely. Sound that you know you can hear on the radio.
What I will say is, for all artists, like whether it's something that we review here on Spin or Bin It, or you're just like doing your stuff elsewhere, do not be afraid to get people's opinions before you start putting your music out. Seriously. In fact, I won't even say do not be afraid. It's crucial that you get other people's opinions. And I'm not
Yeah,
talking about your
listening
mom, your
guys.
dad, your cousins, stuff like that. I'm talking about people in the industry. Other, you know, if you got the track from a producer, send it to another producer, let him hear it. Or if you know
Yeah.
any presenters, DJs, somebody that works in the music industry, send it
Yeah.
to about 3-4 people. Let them give you the honest opinion. So then that way, before you say to the producer you're working with that, you know, you're happy with it, you can say, you know what, I've had some feedback. You know, maybe we should tweak it this way or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't just go in, build your track, pay your money and come out, because you're not guaranteed to have a hit. Make sure that you have people actually, you know, giving you
That gotta keep it real before the press release, because you can't really be.
You have to.
Shouldn't really be press releasing with something of that quality.
Yeah.
You know,
The
it's
worst
not
thing that you
man.
could do is literally like pay all your money, get it produced, do your press release, send it to DJs, and nobody likes it. Then you just spent all this money and no one's playing your track. Do you know what I'm saying? So
and then you'll
what
get,
you
and then
do,
you'll get upset about it.
Yeah.
About them nobody supporting your music. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Are you ready for the feedback? If you ask for feedback, did you take it? Are you take it constructively, or are you just gonna lash out? Because you got to be able to take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So much, like your pride is good. You got to throw your pride out the door. Throw that pride out the door.
Yeah.
If you want to succeed, you want to succeed, and you want to get better. You have to be able to take constructive criticism, and especially from industry experts who know what they're doing, who hear things on a daily basis. And there's a certain level of standard that needs to be achieved. And if you're not meeting that standard, you need to go back. Go back to the drawing board. And of course, for the people who are giving the feedback as well, it's always good to be constructive about it, and not be malice or kind of like be negative about it. Just say this, because there's so many ways you can deliver so many things in such a great way where someone will receive it. So it's all about your delivery and how you're giving that feedback as well, which is very important.
Because as much as we feel like that sometimes, we just feel to say, you know, there's times where you just feel to say, you know what, that's whack. We need to get back to the drawing board. But when you can see seeds of what you were trying to do, what is the actual execution of that is just let you down totally. Like Lady T says, have DJs, have other producers in your circle that you know you can send something and say, yo, what you feeling about this? Is this, you know what I mean? Is this it? Is this the vibe? You know, like Lady T says, be prepared for that critique, not criticism, critique.
Yeah, because that track, I kind of feel that it would work best to like a Sunshine Anderson kind of vibe. I kind of feel that
kind of neo soul, new soul kind of vibe.
And it's okay to get someone else to sing it, or to even like deliver it in a poetic sense. Like you've written it, they get someone else to sing it, and then you know it will sound better. Like it's okay, you can write and then work together with a singer to make it to bring out something amazing, you know, as a tribute. So don't be afraid to get other people to sing your songs, because it might actually be better for them to sing it rather than you deliver it.
I hear that, so, and that happens in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? A lot of music I get sent is like, you really, you know, you're right, it's absolutely amazing, but the vocal side of things, it maybe not be your forte. But sometimes, you know, like for instance, this particular track, I think the vocals haven't been produced well. So it could have had there's a possibility that it could sound actually all right if you produced it, you know what I mean, the vocals properly, but the vocals look, it sound flat, like there's nothing, you know, it's not been produced at all, there's been nothing added, or you know what I mean. So but anyway, we're spending a bit of time on this.
I know,
let's get to the next track,
let's get it.
After the conclusion.
Jeez. All right, so next up is our a third track, and it's coming from an artist called Lekon Salami. He used to go by the name, or formerly known as Olua Tomi, but he has a new track called Imperfection. So take it away, DJ Mello.
All right, let's get into this. Who is it again?
Lekon Salami.
Lekon Salami. All right, so it's spelled salami, but it's not salami, it's actually salami. Okay. This one's featuring Ramaz as well.
Oh, Raiders. Okay.
All of my void, all of my shot. Mommy, you're the film.
Guys, initial thoughts straight off the bat.
Do you know what? Yeah, some people think that you can't go wrong with Afrobeats, but you can. Yeah. You actually can go wrong with Afrobeats. And one of the things for me that I get frustrated about a lot with Afrobeats is the heavy auto-tune. That really bugs me a lot because you can't really hear the. And for me, when there's a heavy auto-tune, it just means that
you can't sing.
You can't sing, and really, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. But because you got the money, you got the connections, you're gonna do it. I'm not saying that's the case for this guy, but the first note that he did, it didn't sound strong. It sounded a little bit weak, in my opinion. And the thing is, I don't know Ramus personally, but I know the kind of level of quality he brings. So I'm curious to hear the rest of this song and see how the artist continues with the rest of the song. So, but off the first note, I wasn't quite, and the delivery was a bit as well. So, but we'll hear it.
We on it tonight. For real, no plating tonight. DJ Max, what we say, man?
I think Lady T's been very kind. Very kind.
I've been kind. Oh my gosh. What are you about to do?
Wow.
That first bit of music, I don't even know if I want to hear anymore. Because I can kind of know what's going on already. I already know what's going on. And she was saying, like, you know, she's not saying that the whole auto-tune, she's not saying that's what this guy's done. That's blatantly what you did. I'm just going to tell you straight.
But that's what, you know, the thing is that's what the kids are listening to. That's the mad thing, though. You've got to get that balance right, haven't you? I mean, for me personally, my struggle with the industry at the moment is, especially the Afrobeats guys, they are all the tracks sound the same. They all sound exactly the same, and it's very, very frustrating. There's no originality, you know what I mean? And some of the sisters as well, you're singing the same kind of way, if you understand what I mean. I'm not going to name names right now, but it's sounding very much, you know, some of the phrasing and stuff like that, it's sounding the same, and it's the same with the Afrobeats. A lot of the guys are sounding the same right about now. So guys,
with this track, I'm kind of thinking to myself that if I was listening to it, I would probably be more looking forward to hearing the featured artist than the actual main artist, and that's a problem for me, because I'd be literally waiting to hear, you know, Raymon's come in, drop his bars or whatever. And then I'd probably stop the track after I've heard that part. So
exactly that. And there are songs where, like, I get sent songs where, like, I'm listening to the artist, but then you've got your choir who are sounding better than you. Jeez. And I'm just like, yo, something ain't right here. Yeah, something ain't computing well here. Like, what's going on? So yeah, there's a lot of tracks out there like that. So listen, if you're an artist and you got choirs and they sounding better than you might need to rethink what you're doing, because it's dangerous. Yeah, because it's kind of dangerous, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the only person thinking that. Like, why do the BVs sound better than the artists? But anyway, in case of this song, let's hear the rest of it and see if it's any good, if it gets any better.
All right, let's go again. You want to pronounce his name for me, please, again?
So Lekon Salami featuring Raymaz.
Lekon.
Maybe put my game face on.
All of my void, all of my shot, coming you the feeling. I know to push, but now your grace with the make me the cheeky, easy. I go stand where I go get respond in the jiffy, easy. Cause you know they like man, oh. Cause you got my intention, you they make correction to my imperfections. I they see affection, cause you got my intention, you they make correction to my imperfections. I they see affection.
Oluwa mi látọkọ mi mo fẹ́ sọ bí mo feel. Mo wá dúpẹ́ ni cause ìfẹ́ tí ẹni sí mi is real. Ó máa ń yà mí lẹ́nu gan, ẹ máa ń boss brain mi. Mo máa mess up most times, ẹ ṣì ń contain me. Ojú máa ń tì mí tí bá ti dẹ́ṣẹ̀ kí tí wá bá yín.
Sounds of Raymaz.
Conditionally ni ẹ ṣe máa mú mi.
Raymaz.
Lord, I'm so far from being perfect. Gbogbo mess up mi lè sweep under carpet. Mo rántí bàtí mo máa ń trust in my own self. Mo rò pé mi Superman, I trusted in my own health. Damn, mo test positive with COVID. Lápá mi bá jábọ̀. Olúwa mi kó.
Wait, this is gonna switch things up because
I think so.
Yeah,
wasn't that
100%.
Raymaz at the beginning? That
Was
has to
it?
be Raymaz at the beginning because the rest of the rap was Raymaz can't be the one rapping.
It says featuring Raymaz. Oh, it could be actually. You know, you're right. Actually, I haven't got a clue.
Oh my days! And if you can't make that distinction about who's who, this is a problem.
Wow. I think for me personally, I'm gonna kick this off. Yeah. For me personally, I'd spin it in the mix. Yeah.
Right.
But that's as a DJ because I'm a DJ kind of thing. So
Yeah.
events and stuff like that, I can hear that at an event and I can say, right, well, but I can throw that in the mix and people vibes off it. And like for instance, my church, we've got a good mix at our church from English to African, so I can play that music and they'll be on it and they know what the dude's saying. I haven't got a clue what he's saying.
I do because I understood.
Like, there you go. So I heard the other occasional COVID and the other occasional word in there, but yeah, for me personally, that would get a spin from me.
I think I need to listen to it again. That's a grower. I'm gonna pin this one. It's a grower for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pin it because it is a
Okay.
grower. I'd need to listen to it in full.
So what's your pin? What's your post-it note? What would you add? What would you take away? What would you embellish with? You like that? Embellish.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the rap for me. The rap just it just didn't.
It's not got that.
Yeah, because I have heard some other other Nigerian rappers, okay,
Yeah.
and they infuse the Yoruba, the different dialects of Nigeria into their music and whatnot. But for me, I wasn't quite sure with this one, and I've heard some really really great ones. This one I wasn't quite sure of, and the again, see for me, you hear me say this a lot. Delivery is so important for me. Like,
Yeah,
if it's not
100%.
delivered, if it's not been delivered properly, it shifts the dynamics of the whole song.
Yeah.
And for me, the delivery was a bit like,
Off. It was there was moments it was off, wasn't it?
yeah. It was
Off,
it was
you know,
off.
offline.
Yeah, so I think they need to just to revisit that again.
Tighten it up.
Yeah, or maybe even do a hip hop beat instead of an Afrobeat type song. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes like the idea to rap over an Afrobeat, I see why, but sometimes, or he could have just sang. Better to have just sang or like spoken over it rather than rapped over it.
You gotta look at the audience though. I must admit, you gotta look at the audience that they're actually going for. They're going for the young audience. They want a vibe. They want Afrobeats vibes. You play that track in an event and they're having it.
Yeah, but the
We're
thing is,
actually
like
having
I
it.
always said, not every Afrobeat is a hit.
Yeah,
Not
no,
every
you're right.
Afrobeat
You're right.
is a
You're
hit
right.
Kind of thing, because sometimes.
It hasn't got that catchiness to it, has it? Really?
It's not catchy. Yeah, it's not
Didn't
catchy.
hear
for
it
me.
like a real strong hook.
Yeah, I'd only play that once, and that's
Wow.
it. Yeah, I'd only play that once. There sometimes there's got to be something catchy in it for you to be like, and I think that's why people like Angelo and Limo Blaze and even Raymaz himself, like he's got catchy songs. Even he's got catchy songs himself. So yeah, that wasn't as catchy as some of the other songs that I've heard. So yeah, I'd pin that. Marcus.
I'm gonna kind of go back and forth on some of my thinking and what I said. So the initial 10 seconds of that track, that was just gonna be a straight bin for me. That was my initial thought. After hearing the other part, I'm not gonna bin it because I think the beat itself is decent. I won't say it's the greatest, but it's definitely decent. I think if they go back and they redo the whole vocals again, mix it down properly, decide how they're going to put the vocals across properly, that they can make the song better. But in its current form, I wouldn't spin it personally. It's going back to what T was saying regarding the music. I mean, what you got to realize here, right, is that, see, I know I said the whole thing about I'll be looking forward to Raymaz coming in. After hearing that, it's like there was nothing to look forward to. It's like I heard everything,
This
and
is it.
that was it. But what you got to understand is, that music, especially if you've got a feature, music is like a marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? The bride has to be the best looking. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're the main artist, you have to be bringing the heat a lot more than your featured artist.
Then you're featured. Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, it's like I thought maybe once I heard Raymars come in, that you might give it a little something. But like we said, we can't tell what he was at the beginning or if he was the one that did the rapping. But either way, I didn't like anything that I heard. So I'm not gonna bin it because I think, like I said, the vocals can be redone. So I'll spin it, but I'll say, yeah, guys, listen, I would. Well, it's probably too late now. You paid your money. I would say drop a remix, but make sure the vocals are done much better.
Yeah, I think I you know what, I kind of agree with the both of you. I think that the auto tune is an issue. The similarity with other tracks is an issue. Ramas, you're on the levels, so it's kind of like you've got to protect your levels as well. You get me? It's not any you can't just jump on your brethren's track.
This is
If the
it.
track isn't on a level, you get me? Because when we hear Ramas, when we hear Ramas, we know already. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, this is gonna be a potential banger, or it's gonna be at least on a level where I know I can play this track. You get me? So I understand he's putting his brother on. It's not trash. Definitely not trash track.
It's not. It's not. No,
It
it's not.
just needs a little bit of work. It's got an energy and it's got a vibe to it. But has it got that je ne sais quoi? Has it got that difference? Has it got that va-va-voom? You get me? Has it got that? I don't think it has. I think it's lacking a little bit. But I agree with DJ Marks. I would play it. It would play on the radio. It's not going to tear down any parties or anything like that. But in the mix, on a mixtape, it would get a little.
It will do well on the mixtape because obviously they're not going to play that long.
You know,
right.
I'm gonna jump on a little something you said very quickly, Mellow Man. I think when you see you're an artist, like you said, once you see you've kind of set a certain level for yourself. I say to all the artists that I manage and work with that if you see you hit here, you can't drop any track below that level now. You either hit that same level or you go up. You know, if my artists come to me now and the track that they've saying they want to drop isn't as good as the one that they did before or better, I don't tell them straight, you ain't dropping it. I will not let them drop it at all. So that's one thing to think of. When you see you're working, always look to improve or maintain the standard. One or the other. Don't go down, even if it is a case of a feature. Check out the feature. Say, okay, guys, you know what? You want me to feature on this track? What kind of vibe you bringing? Let me hear. Get an idea of what you're getting yourself into before you hit that studio.
But let's not get it twisted though, because like the standard of urban gospel has really is kind of on its way back over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? It has made a lot of headway to the point where we're actually critiquing this track. Whereas if this track had come out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been ahead of its time. But because of the standard that's been set now, you have to maintain. You get me? And that's why all you artists out there, maintain. That track is okay, but you need a hook. You need something. It just needs that little, you know what I mean? You just need something else. I think it's a bit, I wouldn't use the word lazy, but I think that there's nothing special that's gone into it. You know what I mean? It's just you've gone in the studio.
That's the key word. No, that's the right word. Lazy. They didn't take their time on the track.
Excellence, man. Excellence is the key, people. Excellence is the key.
It really is.
If it's not the key,
you get that. All right, so we're gonna get into our last track. So I guess it's a combination of spin and pin for this track for Lekon Salami. Okay, so last but not least, we have Alia Lara. This track is called Praising You.
Okay, let's go. You lost me already.
What did you do? Oh, you stopped it. Why did you stop it?
You lost me already, man. You've lost me already, Alia. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I thought that was the music just did some weird pause.
Yeah, me too.
Nah, man. That's what Lady T's talking about, these intros, man. All right, let's see the drop.
Baptized in Christ, he saved my life. He sacrificed his own for mine. So I'm diligent and obedient, or at least I try. I wish I had a dime for the times I've been criticized. They love to hate, I don't care what they say. Laugh while I listen, staying in my lane with the Lord. I'm in the spirit. Never mind, I'm thinking twice, I'm on a rise, yeah. While everybody else getting up to no good, I'll be praising you, you, I'll be serving you.
Well, Marcus, you start.
You know what? Before you started playing the track, I was praying and saying, "Please let this one be better." And I'm glad it was. Yeah, I'm glad it was. The only thing that I will say is I think the music sounds like it needs a bit of work, but I absolutely love the vocals. The vocals, like, jeez, I can imagine myself just couching in my house, listening to that track and feeling, you know, you're that relaxing track and it's a good vibe. You're like, I like that. I think I wouldn't say that it's not much work the music needs. I feel like there's just a little something missing, maybe an extra sound or something. But in general, I do. Yeah, I think I like the track. I really love the track. The vocals were nice. It's a nice way to kind of like end this thing, man, because I needed some kind of grace to come back into this thing. Man. So, I'm feeling that one.
So for me, I really like it. Again, the only thing is for me, just the beginning, the introduction. Like I always say this, you don't need a long 15-30 second intro to get into the song. 10 seconds, boom, hit your listener with it so that they know, you know, what they're getting into. But for me, and she's actually got a couple of other songs that I do like as well. Like her tone, the way she sings, the way she like does this, like she plays with the delivery of the words, kind of thing. Like, you know, she does a bit of fast, a bit of slow, and I'm just like, this is what you call like knowing your craft, knowing how to deliver your music, knowing how to really entice the listener. Like I'm feeling that. I could definitely play that. I think this is something like, you know, the guys from Alabaster Worship could do as well, like put it as part of like a worship set list, because you could, if you wanted to, like just kind of like a mellow before you get into like the old school worship songs. But for me, I'm glad this was last. I'm definitely glad this was last. Definitely a saving grace. Yeah, I can't. There's nothing else I can.
So you guys are spinning that,
Absolutely, yeah. I'll spin this more than once.
Yeah, listen, I'll spin it on the radio. I'll spin it in my yard. Spin that while I'm riding my bike. Everything.
I'm telling you.
Why are you riding your bike?
Yeah, you know, I don't get down the motorway, right? Doing like 70, 80 miles an hour.
True. Yeah, it's true. I suppose if you're taking in the scenery and God's creation,
man.
You know?
Listen, when you see I'm going through them country roads, right, and I'm enjoying the green, I'm saying, God, this is great. Trust me, that tune will go nice.
Praising God as you ride down the country lanes, listening to Ali Lara.
It's the safer one, man. If I do them Afrobeats and I'm trying to dance on the bike, it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So.
It's true, you know. It's true, because you're jigging up on your bike, innit? You know,
same one.
You know what I mean? All right, for me, don't like the intro. The intro was dead. I think it sounded too weak, and I think a lot of DJ wouldn't even get to the drop. In fact, you know what? For me, I'd have to be dropping it on the drop, because I wouldn't even take time with that intro. I might do if I'm mixing a selection of soul jam kind of vibes, but one of my bugbears is when artists have a tempo that's kind of in between, like kind of some weird tempo that's too slow or just in between, like too fast or too slow. It's like, as much as I loved that track last week, what's your friend called again? Joy.
Tracy.
From last week.
Tracy. Yeah.
So as much as I loved that track, like I said last week, the way that it came in too fast, for me, it just jumped in. But once it got into it was a fire track. This particular track, I think the tempo of it just bugs me, because the tempo is a bit too slow, kind of like, it makes you feel like I want to kill myself, but at the same time.
Please
But then when the lyrics drop,
Oh no.
the lyrics are on point. And like you say, I'm loving the phraseology. I'm loving the way she's switching it on, the fast, the slow, the in between. She just kills it. Same with the other tracks. You know what I mean? Her
That's
delivery
funny.
is always on point, 100%. But I just think the tempo, it needed to maybe. I'd take that up to maybe a 120, and then it can mix and blend with some of them kind of.
You know what though, Melo? I'm thinking, you know, as a DJ, that kind of vibe here, right? You see when you get to the end of the night and you're trying to get people out of the building, switching the lights off, you drop that track here, right? People can't dance. It's like, it's time to go home now. Let me drop a soft thing, man, for you guys to get out of here.
You're right, but you can have slow jam. Go on, what are you saying?
Yeah, like ending the night on a slow song, which tends to happen, which a lot of DJs you do. But yeah, I just think that it's a good song. Again, for me, it's just the beginning part. It could have been short, but everything else for me is good. It's really good. Like I can't really say anything, but for DJs it would be a problem. For DJs, they'll need to start it when she starts singing. That's when DJs would actually start. But for radio, and that song also is good for certain times in the radio programming. So like either in the mornings or like, you know, evening winding down type of thing. And you might play it once in the afternoon kind of thing, but to, you know, schedule it somehow. But mornings and evening wind down, definitely, for sure.
Definitely one of them grown and holy kind of vibes. You get me?
Absolutely, yeah, grown and holy. Absolute grown and holy, yeah, for sure.
You know what? Well, you know what, people? So what we're saying is it's a definite spin, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
I think you pressed the wrong button.
I think so too. Was that the wrong button you pressed, Mello?
No, it just happened to be like, yeah, anyway. All right, let's go again. Let's have a hell of a listen. Alia Lara.
I think this is going to be my favorite one for the 4.
Yeah.
Baptized in Christ, he saved my life. He sacrificed his own for mine.
Just the tempo for me.
Diligent and obedient.
Just a little notch further.
I wish I had a dime for the times I've been criticized. They love to hate, I don't care what they say. Laugh while I listen. Staying in my lane with the Lord, I'm in the spirit. Never mind, I'm thinking twice, I'm on the rise. Yeah.
That is some sick vocals. Love that.
Hey,
Love
honestly.
that. The vocals, that kind of like riff right there.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
I'll be serving you.
Family will definitely be expanding on this particular kind of track. All right, well, listen, people.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You can't listen to that while trying to expand your family. What are you doing?
But at the same time, you can get holy in them times, you know. But listen,
praising God. Actually, when you listen to the lyrics, you could praising God in this.
Right, let's not go there. But I definitely think that production, the music wise, I think I got a proper hard beat on this track. I think I don't think the instrumental has done it justice. You get me? That's the only pin out of this, but it's a banger still. It's still a banger. I drop it.
I can see it kind of like. See, I'm old school. I can see like a garage remix. Put the tempo up to like 120 or above.
Yeah.
And get that kind of, you know, like them kind of like, you know, I Bring Flowers kind of tracks. That kind
yes.
of remix.
This
Ali Lara, if you're listening. Yeah,
Ali Lara. It's a killer bass line. It deserves a killer bass line, this track. Definitely.
Ali Lara, if you're listening, get a garage remix to the song.
I will play that all day.
Yeah, man. Garage remix.
That'll be on my radio show straight.
Check out Giant Killer, throw some bass line on there, or Lindsley. Get Lindsley on it.
And one of those guys, boom.
One of them guys, will kill it.
Absolutely.
So there we have it, Lady T.
Yes, so there we have it, guys, for this week. We've had some great songs. So we've had Love Lifted Me by Caleb. We've had Izzy Thomas with Father, Lekon Salami with Imperfection, and of course rounding off with Ali Lara with Praising You. And by the way, Ali Lara is UK. How about that? Yeah. Anyways, guys.
She's from UK?
Oh, she's UK.
UK?
Yeah, Ali Lara's UK.
Okay.
Representing. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in again to this week's episode of Spin It or Bin It. You can find us online, do the hashtag Spin It or Bin It with your comments, and check us out on Affinity Xtra as well on all social media platforms, and of course on YouTube, Affinity Xtra. And make sure that you leave your comments and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you've got songs that you would like to submit, or if you would think for us to check out, then Marcus, what's the email address?
spinitbinit@gmail.com.
Go on.
What is it again?
spinitbinit@gmail.com. Very simple.
There you go. Very simple as that.
On it.
But that'd just be too harsh. They couldn't handle that. They couldn't handle
Spin it, on it. No, we're not burning no music.
No, we're not. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Just continue to keep in touch with us. And next episode, we'll see you then. So for myself, Lady T, DJ Marks, Mello, peace out. God bless you guys.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityextra.co.uk.